Hello, Dr. Dave Highmarsh, GP Templates. In this video, we're going to talk through a really good way of trying to approach all those statistics questions where they've got annoying diagrams or bar charts that you just can't easily revise for. And we're going to show you the method called the ICE method, which I may or may not have ripped off from elsewhere. So what I want you to do is to step-by-step wise, let's go through this. So we're going to isolate the diagram, identify the information presented, critique the question, and also apply a bit of clinical knowledge as well as common sense, a big important one here. And then we're going to evaluate each answer individually if we need to, and eliminate the incorrect answer. And we're going to do this with 3 examples. The first one's going to be really slow walkthrough, talk through. So in this question, we're looking at use of antibiotics in all ages, and it's basically the prescribing information shown is from the NHS Local Health Board, NHS LHB, region and practice A. Okay, so using the data, which is the single best answer. So you've got this load of squiggly lines, a load of answers which don't make sense. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the answers because they just upset us and really focus in on what information we've got. So we've got use in antibiotics in all ages. Right, fine, that's useful to know. And on this side, so we've got antibiotics prescriptions per 1,000 patients per day. And then along the bottom, we've got months of the year. And then we've got practice A in green, which we're going to have a good load focus on. We've got our region 25th centile and then the NHS Local Health Board. Okay, so we've got all of that information. Happy days. And then we can see how these been plotted against. So we've got months of the year versus each practice, and then the health board and the 25th centile. Fine, that's all the information we've got. So now let's look at the question. It's asking us to pick the most correct statement. So we need to critique each one and apply that clinical knowledge and common sense. Okay, so let's go through these in detail. So evaluate each answer. So the list size for practice A has increased. Well, this is a bit of the common sense, and now that we've looked at the graph, there is no information about whether practice sizes have increased or not. So automatically this is wrong. Next, prescribing trends are consistently higher in summer months. Okay, so 2 elements of this. 1, common sense. Do we normally prescribe more antibiotics in the summer? No. And also looking at the graph, there isn't the spikes around the June, July times, August times. Absolutely not. So we know that's wrong. The NHS LHB prescribing is consistently lower than the region's 25th centile. So now that we've orientated ourselves in terms of the colour of the chart, so we've got that dark blue line and the light blue line that we're looking at. So let's look at it closer. And actually, it's the other way around. The 25th centile is consistently lower, so we know that that one's wrong. Okay, the NHS LHB's prescribing is more closely aligned to the region's 25th centile than practice A's. So again, let's have a look at a graph. You can see that the 25th and the LHB's are pretty much mirror each other, happy days, whereas A seems to go a bit all over the place. So actually, we think that could be the right one. Then finally, no conclusion could be drawn. Well, that's completely ridiculous because we've got potentially a correct answer. So that's it. So we're going to use a different example, okay, and this one's using from the benzodiazepine prescribing, so let's do it a bit quicker. So we're going to look at this specifically. So the chart depicts benzo prescribing data. We're going all the way down, and all we've got here is certain quartiles of the year, and they're in different colours, and then the how many prescriptions per 1,000 patients per day. Happy days. All the questions are asking us, using the information given from quarter 4 of year 1, what practice has the highest levels of benzodiazepine prescribing? Give your answer below. So let's go through it. So right, we need quarter 4. So that is year 1, quarter 4. That's the yellow line. Okay, let's go back to this. So now we're just having a look at him. It's the big obvious one. So let's focus in on that one. And it's practice AA. Happy days. So next one, using the information below quarter 3 of year 2, what practices the lowest levels of benzodiazepine prescribing? So let's remind ourselves. So quarter 3, that'll be on the purpley line. Okay, so having a look, just a brief overview look, we've got 3 that are quite on the lower side. So let's have a closer look, and it boils down to you from that way. Finally, this one is the following graph shows the age standardized incidence rates for common cancers in males amongst the UK from 2008 to 2010. So all we've got is a bar chart with just a load of lines from it and a rate per 100,000 males. Now, interestingly, that's all males grouped together. It's not been age stratified or sort of separated it out due to if they're young, old, etc. Or say per region or per gender. It is just all males in one bunch. So which single cancer is represented by the bar labelled 1? Select one option only. Now, this really, for me, boils down to we've had a look at the graph, we've realised that there's not much information, so we've done the I bit. We're going to then just apply a bit of common sense and clinical acumen. What's the most common cancer amongst males? Prostate cancer. So that's your answer there. Fine. A very short video just to give you a good sort of overview of how to use the ICE method of isolating the diagram first and identifying the information that's presented to you so that you can then use that information to then critique the question and apply a bit of clinical knowledge and common sense, the big one, and then finally evaluating each individual answer. Certainly if you've got one like our first example where you've got multiple questions and you need to go through it slowly and then eliminating the incorrect answers as you go through. All the examples that I showed you were from the RCGP AKT website. They've got a really useful guide to statistics, which I would strongly recommend that you go through. I'll leave a link with it down below. If you need a bit more background help with these statistics, these two videos on confidence intervals and mean median mode will be a really good starter for 10. And as always, please share the video. Good luck.